I was in Eyemouth this week, and I had never been before, but I knew it was a good rocky, deep area. I was hoping to catch a wrasse. I had two types of worm with me, and some prawn for bait. I had a decent selection of lures with me too, but I didn't set up the lure rod, as I ended up having nowhere near as much time to fish as I had planned. As I had never been to Eyemouth before, I had no idea how hard it would be to get to a decent fishing spot. I had played my first game of football in months the day before, so having stiff legs really didn't help with all the rock climbing that I had to do. I'd had a look on Google Maps and found a couple of places that I wanted to try. They looked like they dropped off into deep water and were fairly easy to get to. This is the first place that I wanted to try to fish. I didn't actually manage to get to the spot though. The last bit of the climb was too much for me. Fucking don't like this. I put my rods down and went out to the edge to try and find a way down.
If you fall, you're fucked. So what you got to do?
I shuffled over to the other side just to have a look and see if there was a ledge I could climb around, but I couldn't really see anything. I might have been a bit braver if I had someone with me, but if I fell here alone, I'd be in real trouble. I probably could have climbed down, but I would have needed both hands, so I couldn't get down with my gear. So I decided to turn around and go to the other mark that I had spotted on Google. But it turned out that was even worse. This is the next spot that I thought looked good. It really didn't look like this much of a cliff on the map.
Oh, I need to walk all the way back now.
I thought it was going to be a lot colder than it was, so I had wrapped up in a lot of layers and I was absolutely sweating. My legs were really feeling it by now, so I just told myself I was going to fish at the first place that I seen where I thought I could get close enough to the water's edge.
Oh, this is brutal.
I had no idea how I was going to land a fish if I got one here. And if it wasn't such hard work to move, I might not have even fished here. But I had climbed down, so I thought I'd have a few casts. I had one rod fishing out to the right with ragworm on it, and I fished one rod a little bit closer in to the left with a piece of prawn. I got a good bite on the right hand rod after about 5 minutes. I could feel a decent fish for about 5 seconds and then I got stuck. I let out some slack line to see if it would come unstuck, but no luck, and I ended up losing the rig. I lost gear a couple more times here on some snags, so I set up the float and had a little try with that. I knew I really had to move again though, so I bit the bullet and packed up. This is the spot where I finally got set up properly. This is over 2 hours from the start of the video, and all I'd managed to do so far was get stressed out and suffer climbing rocks and hiking up a muddy path, slipping and sliding.
Well, this is it for the day because I'm not going anywhere else. I'm absolutely done in.
I decided to fish the area to the left to start with, so I put one rod out with a couple of ragworms fishing on the bottom. There was a really deep gully between the two rocks there. I set the other rod up with the float and cast it just close in. It was still quite deep water there though. On the float I had the piece of prawn. I got my first fish on after about 10 minutes. I was absolutely knackered and just desperate for a fish.
There's a coal fish, it just got off at the edge there.
I gave it quite a while longer over on the left, but I got no more action. So I set up both rods to fish on the bottom, off to the right. Again, with not much luck. So I put a float back out to the left, and finally...
Yes, man! Finally got a fish! I've never worked so hard for a coal fish in my life. Unbelievable. I'll just get him unhooked. There we go. First fish of the day. I've never worked so hard for a fish in my life.
I never go out and target coal fish,
but I'm glad to catch him. Didn't have much light left either. We'll get them in this side. Yes! Finally, man. Thought I was going to blank.
I cast back out and it didn't take long for my float to disappear.
Another nice wee collie. Very welcome.
And another one soon after.
Whoa! Quite a fat one, that. Good fighting him. Oh, I got soaking there.
I had another couple of bites on the float, but I didn't manage to hook into any more fish. The rod that I had fishing on the bottom was getting a few nibbles now and again, but I didn't really get any serious bites apart from the one right at the start at the first spot that I fished. This spot did have deep water and it did look quite fishy. Maybe on another day I might have caught some other fish here, but there is a lot of good looking places in this area. There is a lot more coastline to explore though, so I'll definitely be back and hopefully find some places that are a bit easier to get to the edge. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, even though it was a bit more rock climbing than fishing this time. I'll see you all again soon. Cheers.